Hello and welcome back to another video. So the theme of this simulation is Overwatch 2. Obviously, I'm making this video because Overwatch 2 recently just came out. It was also the second Overwatch Hunger Games I made, and I'll put a link on screen if you want to go and check out the first one. I made it a while ago, so it's honestly not that good in my opinion, especially with my lack of knowledge on the game. I would swear I played the game before making that video, but like the amount of times that I mispronounce people's names. Mora, Zenyatta, Reinhard, me, my Baptist. So guys, trust me, I've gotten better. Okay, I know the game more. And here's everyone who suggested the Overwatch theme. And if you have any ideas for future themes for me to make sure to comment them down below, and maybe I'll make them. In District 1, we got May. See, I got the name right. And she's the winner from the last Overwatch Hunger Games. She also got 20th place in my first Winners Edition, so she didn't do that well, really, when she was out of the Overwatch territory. But now that she's back, maybe she'll actually do good again. Also in District 1 is Soldier 76. The reason he's returning is because he's my main. I'm too lazy to check what place he got last time, but I know it wasn't first, so hopefully we can fix that this time. In District 2, we got Roadhog. Sorry for the abysmal image quality. I had to screenshot my other videos so I could use the same image. There's also Bastion, and oh my god, guys, the impossible happened. Bastion isn't OP in Overwatch 2. I didn't think it was possible. Jeff Kaplan could never. We needed. Then in District 3, there's Sigma. Like Sigma nuts. Then our final returning contestant is Wrecking Ball, our cute little hamster fellow. Now on to the new contestants. There's Sombra. And there's Symmetra. We also got Orisa, who was my main tank in the first game, but then they made her funner. So I no longer play her. Then there's also Zarya. I used a picture of her in a bubble because, let's be real, when is she ever not in one? In District 6, there's Echo, and there's also Pharah, 2 flying DPS. In District 7, there's Bridget. And also in District 7, there's Kiriko. So now we're getting to the new Overwatch 2 heroes. Also, I don't know the lore, so I don't know why she's holding a pink frosted sprinkled donut. Then there's Sojourn.
Did you see it?
And her name kind of annoys me because it's too similar to Torbjorn in my opinion. And then there's also Junker Queen. So just we got Cole Cassidy. Now I know some of you guys might be thinking wait a moment, he was in the first one, why isn't he with the other returning contestants? Well, that's because who you're thinking of right now is not Cole Cassidy. You're thinking of
name redacted.
And this isn't
name redacted.
This is Cole Cassidy. I also started running out of playable heroes at this point, and I really started scraping the bottom of the loot box to try to find contestants. Also RIP loot boxes. Then there's Cole Cassidy's Western friend Ash. Then there's Ash's Western friend Bob. Got that drippy hat. Then we got Ganymede, who was Bastion's bird. Listen, I was running out of characters. If that wasn't obvious enough that I was running out of characters, here's his training bot. Bro's about to take revenge for basically every hero in the game shooting him to try to just test their gun. And then further proving my point of being out of characters, here's the giant push bot. He probably has a similar motive to training bot, where all the heroes have kind of just been pushing him around, Then in the final district, there is Antonio Bartolotti. I don't even know what this is. Then the final contestant is Maga. At least I think you pronounce it Maga. Think even I might be making an Overwatch 1 Hunger Games moment where I mispronounce the names. Who is rumored to be the next tank, so I might actually be 5 steps ahead right now and be hitting with the fat prediction. Anyways, now let's just get into the simulation, and before we do though, make sure to comment down below who you want to see win this Hunger Games, and also who your main is, because maybe your main isn't in this video. As a tribute stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Sombra runs away from the cornucopia. Actually, Sombra has the OP strategy where she can just turn invisible and then just wait till the end. Bob runs away from the cornucopia. That's what he does in the ultimate. Bastion rips a mace out of Symmetra's hands. Giant pushbot finds a canteen full of water. May runs away from the cornucopia. Maga runs away from the cornucopia. Honestly, should I check if I'm pronouncing his name right? Zarya sets an explosive off, killing Roadhog, Orisa, and that guy. Bro, that has to be play of the game. They have a lot of health. What kind of explosive was that? That had to have been freaking Diva's thing. Kiriko takes a handful of throwing knives. Wait, it makes sense. Farah grabs a sword. Bridget finds a bow, some arrows, and a quiver. Echo runs away from the cornucopia. Cole Cassidy grabs a jar of fishing bait while Junker Queen gets fishing gear. Then Ganymede grabs a jar of fishing bait while Ash gets fishing gear. Training Bot runs away from the cornucopia. Soldier 76 runs away from the cornucopia. Sojourn and Sigma fight for a bag. Sigma gives up and retreats. Wrecking Ball takes a handful of throwing knives. Bruh. Farah diverts Echo's attention and runs away. Ash scares Ganymede off. Weren't you two just, like, you know, getting bait together or whatever? Bridget receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Symmetra receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Wrecking Ball defeats Sojourn in a fight, but spares her life. Training Bot attempts to climb a tree, but falls to his death. That's like the lamest death you could possibly have. Kiriko says a voice line to Maga. Zarya receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. The unknown sponsor is probably like, I don't know, Mercy? Bob goes hunting. Bastion discovers a cave. And Cole Cassidy, Soldier 76, Sombra, and May raid Giant Pushbot's camp while he is hunting. He's still being pushed around. 4 Canish has been heard in the distance. Roadhog, Orisa, Antonio whatever, and Training Bot. Farah sees a fire but stays hidden. Giant Pushbot kills May with her own weapon. Did May just get lucky the first time? She sucked in the Winners Edition. She sucked now. I think she just got 20. She got 20th place again. This is 2 times in a row. And May got killed by her own freeze ray. Sigma attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Bruh, if you wanted some fire, all you had to do was just play that melody.
What is that melody?
Bridget receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Cole Cassidy is awoken by nightmares. Soldier 76 tends to Ash's wounds. Junker Queen pushes a payload. Zarya climbs a tree to rest. See, this is when I want someone to die from fall damage. Because, honestly, like, please nerf. Maga receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Sombra, Symmetra, and Sojourn get into a fight. Symmetra triumphantly kills them both. Also, the 3 S's, they all start with the letter S. I don't know why I'm pointing that out. It just felt like I should. Farah scares Sigma off. Cole Cassidy runs away from Maga. Wrecking Ball thinks about home. Isn't his home like the moon? Bridget, Bob, Symmetra, Ganymede, and Giant Pushbot hunt for other tributes. And Soda 76, Zarya, Bastion, Junker Queen, and Kiriko hunt for other tributes. 2 large teams at the moment. 3 cannon shots being heard in the distance. May, Sombra, and Sojourn. Giant Pushbot cooks his food before putting his fire out. Ganymede and Echo run into each other and decide a truce for the night. Cole Cassidy receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Kiriko receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Was it pink frosted sprinkled donut? Farah dies from an infection. Bob defeats Bastion in a fight, but spares his life. I just realized, by the way, Bob is like so OP. Like, he just has aimbot. How do you beat it? Junker Queen falls into a pit and dies. See, when Training Bot dies from fall damage, it's understandable. But when Junker Queen does it, it looks like the abs would just block the fall. Sigma, Manga, Bridget, and Ash sleep in shifts. Soda 76 climbs a tree to rest. Please don't fall to death. Bob sprains his ankle running away from Giant Pushbot. Honestly, a Giant Pushbot must be intimidating. Look how big he is. It's in his name. His name is Giant Pushbot. Actually, I don't even know what his name is. I just called him Giant Pushbot. Ganymede thinks about home. Bird's nest. Sigma thinks about home. Freaking insane asylum. Cole Cassidy says a voice line to Echo.
McCree, more like McNeeds more nerves.
A lot of voice lines are being said. Zarya makes a wooden spear. You don't need a wooden spear when you have, I don't know, laser beam. Symmetra stabs Maga while his back is turned. Bridget dies from hunger. She should have asked for Kiriko's celery stick. 4 cannon shots being heard in the distance. Farah, Junker Queen, Maga, and Bridget. Soldier 76 stabs Ganymede in their heart with a flag. Zarya feeds Symmetra, what am I saying? Zarya fends Symmetra, Bastion, and Bob away from her fire. Wrecking Ball climbs a tree to rest. Like the hamster, or like the whole entire freaking ball. Sigma pushes a payload. That's a Sigma male moment. Cole Cassidy catches Echo off guard and kills her. They were just saying voice lines ago, like 2 seconds ago. But speaking of voice lines, Bob says a voice line to Sigma. Bastion and Ash split up to search for resources. Cole Cassidy picks flowers. Wrecking Ball finds metal scraps. Is that the freaking training bot? Symmetra runs away from Zarya. Giant Pushbot emotes. Let's go. They need to add a thing in the game where if all players emote around the Giant Pushbot, he just starts dancing with them. Like, that should be a thing. Soldier 76 poisons Kiriko's drink and she drinks it and dies.
Number 7.
And Junkenstein attacks. That's right, guys. We got an event, and being as Halloween just recently ended, I figured why not have the main event be themed around Halloween a little bit, you know? Speaking of Halloween, by the way, go and check out Basement Dot, you know? Bastion survives Junkenstein's attack. Sigma also survives Junkenstein's attack. But a Riptire blows up Zarya and Cole Cassidy. Bob survives Junkenstein's attack. I thought I said Bro survives Junkenstein's attack. Soldier 76 gets eaten by Junkenstein's monster, which is Roadhog, by the way, while Wrecking Ball watches. Giant Bushbot survives Junkenstein's attack. Then Symmetra gets eaten by Junkenstein's monster while Ash watches. 7 cannon shots being heard in the distance. Ganymede, Echo, Kiriko, Zarya, Cole Cassidy, Soldier 76, and Symmetra. Wrecking Ball is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Bob, Giant Pushbot, and Sigma sleep in shifts, and Ash cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide. I'm thinking Ash did that because she just freaking witnessed someone get eaten alive. The Cornucopia Bridge wants for food, supplies, weapons, and members from the tribute's families. Wrecking Ball decides not to go to the feast. Sigma decides not to go to the feast. Bastion's trap kills Giant Pushbot. Bob decides not to go to the feast. Bob receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Wrecking Ball collects fruit from a tree, and Sigma defeats Bastion in a fight but spares his life. I just realized 3 of the 4 contestants right now are all returning contestants. Someone might actually have like an epic comeback victory right now. Unless if Bob just steals it from all 3 of them. I wish I knew what place people got last time. I should go and check that just to see who would be making the greatest comeback right now. 2 cannon shots being heard in the distance, Ash and Giant Pushbot. Bastion runs away from Wrecking Ball, and Sigma is unable to convince Bob to not kill him. So 1 returning contestant down. Bob has claimed a victim. 1 cannon shot being heard in the distance, and obviously it's Sigma. We just watched him die. Bob loses sight of where he is. Bastion thinks about winning, and Wrecking Ball pushes a payload. Wrecking Ball diverts Bastion's attention and runs away, and Bob just constructs a shack. Wrecking Ball squeezes a plush Pachamari. Why are you squeezing a plush Pachamari? Like, is it like for comfort? Then Bob also squeezes a plush Pachamari. Why? And then Bastion pushes a payload. Why are you pushing a payload? Wrecking Ball discovers a cave. Bob receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Bastion dies from thirst. But now 50-50 shot of returning contestant winning or Bob winning right now. 1 cannon shot being heard in the distance, Bastion, yes, I know game, yeah. But Bob falls into a frozen lake and drowns. 2 robots dying, 1 by lack of water, 1 by too much water. The winner is Wrecking Ball from District 3. So Wrecking Ball came back from the first one and got the dub. And here are all the placements. So Wrecking Ball in first place with 0 kills. He went killless. But technically, his KD is still perfect. Bob and Bastion, who got 2nd and 3rd, actually had a kill. And then the most kills are tied with Zarya and Symmetra. Anyways, that is it for this Hunger Games Simulator video, Overwatch Edition number 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. There probably won't be another Overwatch themed Hunger Games for a while, because literally I'm out of characters. So, and also comment down below any other themes you want to see, or the characters you want to see in these Hunger Games. And if you want to go check out my other Hunger Games videos, I have a playlist on my channel and you can go check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Wrecking Ball is your winner, and goodbye.